Hi, hello. We have a few minutes still. If we've never met before, I'm Dom. Props for today, if you would like to use them. Just a blanket, which will be nice for our knees and also for a little bit of ab work that we're doing as well. Please feel free to grab some water. We have like another minute or so before I turn on for Instagram. And then we'll be rocking. Be ready to go. Should all be good. $10.29. Please. I'm not going to go like this. There we go. Okay. Make sure that I'm standing. Hi, hello, welcome to your Hour Mat Pilates Flow. If we've never met before, I am Dom. It is an absolute pleasure to get to practice with you today. I will let you know today's class does have a little more of like a cardio version of it, not running up and down unless you choose to. But just as far as tempo goes, there's going to be pockets of our time together that are intentionally a little bit quicker. That being said, class is always just a blueprint. It's just an invitation. So I do my best to make sure that there's lots of options available so we can sort of choose our range of spice factor. Props that you will need, should you want any, is just a blanket is available for us. A little bit of support for our back as we move into some core work, as well as anytime we're kneeling, it's nice to maybe have, or you could just fold up your mat. So it's super not necessary, but nice to have if it's there. Feel free to grab some water. Now, I don't play music in my classes online because I can get shut down from Instagram and YouTube, which is not something that I want to do. So please feel free to put on something that feels really fabulous for you. We're going to start standing today. So if you'd like to bring yourself upright, anywhere on your mat is fine, as long as you have like a little bit of space in front of you. We're just going to sort of let our feet find the floor underneath us. Gentle bend in our knees as we nod our nose, nod our chin into our chest. Gentle bend in those knees, hollowing through our bellies and just allowing your spine to peel down and forward in space. Taking a breath in at the bottom to maybe enjoy a bit of an experience here. Keep those knees really nice and juicy bent. And then push the feet through the floor. See if you can fire up through those glutes as you roll yourself back upright. One vertebrae at a time. Give those shoulders a nice roll at the top. Maybe give your head a little circle. Let's go again. Nodding your chin towards your chest. Gentle bend in the knees. Hollowing through the belly. Melting. Drawing forward. It's like all of the weight of your body is being drawn down by the weight of your arms. Gentle bend in those knees to take a nice breath in. As you breathe out, pushing that floor away. Again, scooping to stack and roll. Placing your spine up a little bit higher than where it started. Maybe a bit of the roll of the shoulders, maybe a roll of the neck. 2 more times of these. Nodding your chin down, gentle bend. Finding your breath here. So creating a little bit of space in the body before we start to up our ante, up our intensity here. Taking a breath at the bottom, pushing that floor away, drawing up through those thighs, through those glutes, bringing yourself upright. Maybe a circle of the arms here if that feels good. And then last time, head draws down, scooping through that belly as we round ourselves forward. Staying at the bottom this time. So if your head doesn't love being below your heart, you're always welcome to come up halfway. If you're happy wherever you are, start to give your legs a little bit, woo, them hamstrings, they tight, legs a little bit of a pedal. Bending into one knee and then stretching through the other. Just sort of noticing what's happening here. Maybe feel up into your hip, into your low back, making sure your head stays nice and gentle. And then let's stretch out through that right leg, bend into your left knee. Plant your left hand on the floor. Now, if you're comfortable bringing hand to chest, feel free. If not, you can just bring it up to your hip and then reaching that arm out. So nice and tall, reach up through that right arm. And then as you inhale, we're going to thread the right arm underneath the left. So we're taking like a huge twist in the body here. And then as we breathe out, we're opening it up. Inhaling to enjoy that bit of a twist and stretch. And then exhaling to open it up. 2 more here. Inhaling to reach it through. Exhaling to open it up. 1 more time. Inhale to reach it through. Exhaling to open it up. Nice big stretch here. And then bring the right hand down. Give your legs a little shakety shake shake. If you need to come up for a second, feel free. And then we're going to go to that other side. So stretching through the left leg, bending through the right knee. Left hand, finding a placement that feels good for you, and then opening that left arm up. So we're expanding through our chest here. On your next inhale, you're going to curl in on yourself. Reach your left hand underneath the right, but keep the left knee nice and straight. And then as you breathe out, opening up. Inhale to thread it under and through. Exhaling to open it up. 1 more time. Inhaling to thread. Exhaling to open. Left hand comes down to the floor, big bend in your knees as you roll yourself all the way up. Woo! Giving your shoulders a little shake, maybe reaching those arms up overhead, and then bringing them down. Okay, so you're going to set yourself up on your mat here. Your feet are going to be nice and parallel. We're going to move into a bit of a squat series. There's going to be a lot of legs today, lots of lower body. Of course, we do the full body always, but know that there's going to be lots of lower body today. You're bringing your hands to your hips if that feels good for you, feeling those feet hip distance apart, and then we're just going to sit back, push the floor, and lift. We're going to sit back, push the floor, and lift. Hands can come to your chest if you'd like, wherever feels good for you. And so as we're just starting to get moving here, we're going to have a little bit of housekeeping. So we're going to keep moving the whole time as we find these housekeeping notes. First thing is, can we try to not put our weight just in our heels? I'd like us to feel that full span of your foot, that full width of your foot against the floor and drawing down so that when you're going to stand tall, you have a huge base of support here. It's also a really nice way to make sure you get up into those glutes, yeah? So it's not just in our heels, it's that full foot of support. Now, as you sit back, we're pushing toes, glutes go back. What that doesn't mean, however, is a sway through our back, yeah? We want to keep drawing, talking and moving. Our ribs down, towards our waist, down and lift. Now, of course, if this tempo doesn't feel fabulous for you, feel free to keep it a little bit slower, yeah? Super no big deal here. Down and tall, and down and tall. Drawing in through the waist. Still moving through those legs. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5. Getting it moving. 4, 3, 2. We're going to add on stay low. So pausing right where you are. Feel all 10 of those toes pushing down into the floor. Draw them down. Find an ability here to not let your knees fall in, but really energize them so knees are nice and parallel. We're going to do little baby pulses up and then down. And down. And they're not bounces, yeah? It's really, really controlled. Keep pushing those toes into the floor. Keep drawing the belly in, opening through your tail. For 8, for 7, for 6, for 5. We're going to do it all again. 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to get low and then tall. 10. Down and up. 9. For 8. If you feel like you would like to add a little tricep here, bend, squeeze. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get low. Little pulse up and down for 8. For 7, you could always add the arm. 6, 5, 4, 3. We're going to do it all again. 2, 1. Standing up tall. Down and then up. 8, 7. Don't have to arm it here. 6, just if you want to. 5, 4, 3, 2. Pressing through those feet. Hold it nice and low. Little lift of the glutes and then down. Little up, little down. Little up, little down, little up, little down. We've got 6, 5. Remember, it's controlled. 4. So you're in doing all of the movement here. Nothing is just happening by chance. 3. For 2. Last one. Hold it here. Can you squeeze everything in your body? We're going to pulse the hips for 8. 7. It's getting lower. 6 is getting lower. 5. Ribs are in. 4. Strong arms for 3. Push through your feet. 2. Last one. Bring it up. Give yourself a little shake. Oh, it's the party. So taking principles that we practice on the ground and then bringing them upright. Okay, we're not done. We still have a little bit more business here, and then we'll bring ourselves down. So let's open ourselves up so that we have a nice turned out space here through our feet. So your feet are definitely wider than your hips. If you feel like you're not going to slip, right, we want to make sure that we stay nice and safe. And then we're going to bend low. So we're sort of doing a very similar thing. We're not going through a squat back. We're actually now trying to stay quite upright. It's very ballet style. However, we don't need our feet turned out massively. It's just like to the corners of your mat, yeah? Bending down through your knees and then pause. So first, can you make sure that your heels are on the same lane? So one isn't above or in front of the other. Second bit of business, as you're holding this here, can we feel like our thighs are rotated out? Now remember, my job is to be our cheerleader and be like, you can do it, bend more, all of those things, but you are the agent of your body. So if your body does not want to go lower or go quicker, that's amazing. That's so amazing to make that choice. Hands can come to your heart. They can come overhead. They can come to your hips. We're going to get low and then we're going to stand tall. We're going to bend low and tall, low and tall. So know that looks can be deceiving, right? Because of camera angles, it can maybe look like I'm really super duper turned out. I'm not. My knees are pointing out over my toes. Now my whole foot is still pointed and pushing into the floor, just like when we were parallel. So I don't want to lose the relationship of my big toe to my pinky toe, down and up. Now, not just pushing down, but can we also hug in? And the moment you pull those heels in, I'm hoping you're going to feel your inner thighs go ding, 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 really nice and turned on. Oh, it is cardio to talk and do this. Down and up, down and tall. Every time we stand up tall, we're trying to zip up through those quads. So it's, again, nice to take our principles that we practice once we're on the ground and apply them to being upright, right? Because we spend our lives upright, so we might as well practice being upright. Squeeze of the glutes, hug of the heels, low belly nice and stable. Remember, go at your pace. It does not have to be the pace that I'm going at. For 10, we're breathing. For 8, that looked like a cute little jazz hands moment, but really I was about to fall over. 5. For 4, that full put pushing down, the hug of the heels in. For 2, we're going to get low and pause. Now, can you notice where your hips are? Maybe you can see yourself, maybe not. But imagine you could see your hips and they're going to stay perfectly still. All you're going to do, I shouldn't say all, it's a lot of work. If it's available to you, can you maybe lift your right heel just to hover, not your full high half toe, and then put it down. And then your left heel is going to hover and then put it down. And then right heel hovers and then put it down. And then left heel hovers and then put it down. So if this is making sense in your body, please feel free to go with the heel hover. If this is not an option in your body, you're going to lift up an inch and then down an inch, and then up an inch and then down an inch. So pick one of these that's going to make the most sense for your body. Now, arms could be out. They could be open. They could be up overhead. The further away from your center that they are, I'm already like, whew, the harder it's going to be, yeah? Or the spicier it's going to be, I should say. We've got this. Up and down, up and down. Let's go for 4, for 3, for 2. Last one, both heels down. We get low, we stand tall. Low and tall, down and up. As we're moving here, remember that whole foot is pushing into the floor. Hug those heels in. Get as low as makes sense for you. And then when we tall, we're like, yes, I'm so strong. I feel my muscles contract here. Moving with support. Down and up. Down. Is anyone else already like super sweaty and out of breath? Because definitely happening for me. For 10. For 9. Arms can be wherever you need them to be, yeah? For 7. For 6. 5. We're singing in our heads. We're feeling nice and strong. For 2. Last one, user's choice. Lift a heel, put it down. Heel, put it down. Or lift up and lower. Lift up and lower. For 6. 5. Hug those heels in wherever you are. For 3, can you get a bit lower? 2. Last one, we're going to stay low. We're going to pulse 8. 7, I know, tricked you. 6. 5, turn those thighs out. 4, you've got it. 3, we have one more full set. Get low, stand tall. Get low, stand tall. Down and up. Down and up. We're going for 5. Woo! For 4, maybe those arms are up. Maybe they're out. 3, we're in it together though. 2, keep hugging those feet down. 1, stay nice and low. Lift a heel, put it down. Lift a heel or up an inch, down an inch. Up an inch, down an inch. For 6. For 5. Woo! 4, Spice-a-Rama. 3, gotta go in 2. Last one, pulse it down together. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, get lower. 4, get deeper. 3, hug the heels for 2. Last one, can you hold? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. Woo! Heel toe those feet in. That was quite enough of that. Please feel free to grab some water. I'm definitely going to grab some water. And then we're going to make our way down to the floor onto our backs. Oh, that was so fun. Now we're definitely going to come back up again and do a little interval series throughout the class where we pick up the heart rate a little bit. So again, please feel free as we're practicing to make decisions that feel like the most appropriate for you. Yeah, it's always just a guide. So pausing with our feet planted down. Can you take a moment? I have a knot in my shirt, so just trying to move around. Take a moment to bring your hands onto your pelvis. Heels of your hands on your hip bones, fingertips on your pubic bone. And as your pelvis is resting, as we're coming back down into our breath, can we notice how our pelvis is laying down? So when I come to rest naturally, my pubic bone is higher than my hip bones. So I'm going to make just a little adjustment, a little tilt of my pelvis so that my hip bones and my pubic bone are level. And then we also want to notice if we're favoring tipping to one side or the other. Can we feel completely even through our weight here? As we inhale, we're inhaling through the nose into the backs and sides of the ribs. As we exhale, we're exhaling out through our mouths, allowing our ribcage to draw down. As we inhale, inhaling to expand sideways, backwards, and naturally a little bit up and forward. As we breathe out through our mouths, pelvic floor draws up, rib cage draws down. We're thinking wide through our bellies. So just a little pelvic stabilizer to start. We're going to lift up through the right toes, make your right heel really nice and light. As you breathe out, can you slide that right leg away from you without anything changing through your hips? Pull that leg in as you breathe in. As you breathe out, slide your right leg away without letting anything change through your pelvis. Now, this looks super unassuming. It doesn't look like that much is happening. And the reason for that is because the work of stabilizing is happening so deep inside your torso, so deep into your deepest abdominal layer. It's our stabilizing muscle. It's what's supporting your organs, yeah? So we don't want it to be like super tight because that would be too squishy, but we do want it to be recruited to especially stabilize our pelvis, which is going to be really important when we add on. 2 more with this leg, always checking in. Maybe your hands come to your pelvis. Maybe your hands come to your hips to just notice if they rock side to side. 1 more time. Breathe it out. Drawing your ribs and your hips towards each other, energetically though. When you're ready, pull that leg in, put that foot down. Left toes lift, stabilize through that pelvis. So we want to make sure it's not rocking and rolling. And then as you breathe out, slide the left leg away without changing anything through your torso. Inhaling, that left leg comes in. Now, again, it doesn't look like a ton of work. However, our body is going to try to be efficient. And what that efficiency looks like is a little rock side to side, or maybe your ribs expand. And so can we be as inefficient as possible, which would mean it's just the left leg moving here. And we have to start thinking about some tension across our low belly, across our hip bones, our pelvis, so that we can start to stay stable here. 2 more times. Because otherwise, if we forget about that, then it's going to be left unsupported, right? And we don't want to do that. We want everybody to be involved. We want the most bang for our buck. Pull the left leg in, put the left foot down. Again, stabilizing through that pelvis. Now, maybe your arms reach up. Maybe they come to the hips. Maybe they're on the floor. Take your breath in. As you breathe out, roll up to your right toes. Maybe lift the right leg up to a tabletop. Nothing else moves. Inhale to lower that right leg down. As you breathe out, your left leg starts to roll up to your left toes. Left leg lifts. Inhale to lower it down. As you breathe out, right leg is going to lift. Little baby bit of a march here. And what I just want you to notice is that we're keeping that pelvis really nice and stable. And then if you start to feel nice and supported with that, you're going to have a moment where both of your feet hover. As your left leg goes down, oh, look, we switch in the middle of the air. The right leg lifts up. As we breathe out, we go for a little switcherooskies. There's a moment where they're both in the air as they lift. And they're meeting at about a 45-degree angle. Now, remembering the whole time that we're here, we're trying not to overextend through our low backs either. So those hip bones and pubic bone are staying perfectly nice and level. There's a moment where they hover and then they switch. Now, if this is starting to feel really nice and stable through your pelvis, those hands, your legs are going to keep going. Hands can come behind your head. As you breathe out, you're going to curl it up. Hold your curl as you start those switches. Woo. Little switch. Now, I haven't scooped through my pelvis. My low back is not pushing into the floor. I'm in a neutral home base here. Hip bones, pubic bone level. Wide across that low belly. Little curl. And if we're doing this in the nuances of the subtleties, I'm hoping sooner rather than later, you start to feel a little bit of a vibration, a little bit of a hum through that low belly. Lift and lift. We're going for 6. Remember, you could be doing 1 foot at a time, yeah? Or you could be doing this little switcherooski. For 3, for 3, for 2, for 2. Last one. Now, maybe it makes sense to pull and meet your legs up at a tabletop. Maybe it makes sense for your legs to meet on the floor. Wherever you are, find your leg placement. As you inhale, drop your head back in your hands just a little bit. Exhale to curl it up. Inhale back a little. Exhale to curl. Now, remember, there's also that cheat where you can grab, or I shouldn't call it a cheat. It's a mod where you can grab the back of your mat, and maybe that helps if your shoulders feel a little bit crunchy. We're going for 4. We're going for 3. Little curl. We're going for 2. It's fire starting. One more time. Let's curl it up. Hold it here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Nice little stabilizer there for us. Rock yourself over to one side. Bring yourself all the way up. Now, if you would like to grab your blanket, it might be a nice bit of a prop for us. You're going to take it and you're going to roll it up and make a little blanket sausage. And that blanket sausage is going to go at our low backs. So anytime we do half roll back work, I'm going to make sure that we have lots of options, right? So if we could start sitting up nice and tall as you can. If you need to roll your mat up so you have a little more height, feel free. Knees can start nice and bent. Let's reach those arms forward. So remembering that our initiation here is going to be from our pelvis. Taking your breath in as you breathe out, can you scoop that tailbone underneath you, hollow through your belly so you're in the shape of a C. Take a breath in and then scoop and pull yourself up. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, scoop and tuck your pelvis underneath you. You take your weight back. Now maybe your little blanket sausage is there just to give you a little bit of support, and then pull yourself up. Breathe in. As you breathe out, scoop, 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 scoop. I'm trying to tuck my bum underneath me. Breathe it in. Breathe out, pull myself up. Keep going. Now, different versions of this could look like your legs nice and long. That's totally fair, but make sure those legs stay on the ground. Scoop it back. Stay there. Pull it up. Another version of this could look like your feet pressing against a wall, and then you scoop using the wall as leverage, yeah? So find a version. It could be a bed frame. It could be a chair leg, as long as it's nice and stable, yeah? Breathing in, breathing out. Stay there, and then lift up tall. We're starting to really mobilize through our pelvis here, knowing that I'm actually not doing anything with my upper body. It's all happening from my low pelvis, and the rest of my torso is just following along, trying to keep my legs nice and glued to the floor. Inhale, exhale, scoop. Take a breath, pull yourself up. We're going for 3. Keep reaching through those legs. We're trying to open through the front of the hip here. Pull yourself up. Last one, option to hold. So find somewhere that makes sense for you. Feet could be against the wall. Feet could be bent. Maybe you're not that far back. Little bit of an experiment here. Now, as we're scooping, maybe pressing your feet against a wall. If we were to lift our right arm up, can you draw your ribs down more and scoop your belly more? Lower that right hand down. What would happen if we lifted our left arm? The left arm goes up, ribs draw down, belly scoops more. Lower that arm, breathe it out. Lower the arm, breathe it out. Now, if your legs are reaching, can you make sure you are super zipped up through that quad? We want to use as much tension in our body as possible so that we can really get things going here. I'm thinking about a capital C with my torso, so I'm not squishing into my low back. That would not be very comfortable. I'm thinking about scooping, especially that fleshy low belly space. We're trying to flatten and widen it, and not flatten in a fashion way, flatten like anatomically. Yeah, I don't want us to bulge through and give ourselves hernias. We got it here, team. Lift it up, lower it down. One more time to the right, lower it down to the left. Take a breath in and then pull yourself all the way up. Give yourself a curl over. Now, of course, if going into a half roll back like that for your backs does not feel fabulous, feel free to head onto your back and start to add in curls like we just practiced before. And you can add a little twist there. That's totally an option. Okay, setting your legs up wherever feels good. I'm going to let mine go long. You can bend, press against the wall, all those things. Inhaling to be up nice and tall here. As we breathe out, let's again find that little bit of a tuck of our tail underneath us. And if you have your blanket sausage, maybe setting your blanket sausage up to kind of nuzzle into you so it feels like you have a bit of support here. Now remember, I have fabric sort of poking out everywhere, so please don't feel like exactly what you see is accurate. It's more appropriate to listen to my words. If I can speak, because I'm on fire. Now we practice one arm, we practice 2 arms. Can we all zip up through your quads if your legs are long? Push against the floor if you need to. 1 second, we just lost Instagram. Woo. It's reconnecting. Okay. You're holding, you've got it. Hold. Squeeze. Scoop. Both of our arms, breathe in. Both of our arms are gonna lift up. Both of your arms come down. Both of your arms lift up. Remember, you could be pushing against a wall. You could have bent knees. You can adjust your legs however you need to here. I feel like 2 legs reaching gives me a really nice anchor of support, but you might feel differently. Exhale, reach. There's a little gorgeous moment at the top where we maybe get a little shaky. And so there's so much energy happening here, yeah? We are not just sitting in our low backs. We're really actively trying to scoop and hollow. And then it's like there's a little puppet string at the crown of your head that's trying to lift your vertebrae so there's a little more space. And then our arms go up. You've got it here, team. Let's go for 4. Lower it down. Let's go for 3. 2 more. You can do it for 2. 1 more time. Can you maybe lift your arms up? Hold them there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring them up and forward. Oh, that was super exciting. 1 more little bit of business. Legs go nice and long. Maybe you have your little blanket sausage support here. You just catch my breath for a second. Okay, here we go. Inhaling up nice and tall as we breathe out. Scoop and tuck the pelvis underneath you. Reach through your legs. Shoulders are on your back. If it feels appropriate, maybe lift just your right arm. If it's available to lift 2 arms, lift 2 arms. You're going to hold there. Hold there wherever you are. Now, if being in the half roll back like this isn't working for you, keep holding if it is. You're welcome to bring yourself back into those leg slides, back into a tabletop, and you're just going to start to add a little oblique twist. Yeah, and you can do that with feet on the floor if you wanted to. All of those things. Okay, we're holding. Don't worry, I didn't forget about you. So right arm up or both arms up, reaching through those legs. Take a breath in as you breathe out. Can you twist yourself around to the right? Pull yourself back to center. You're going to do that again. Twist yourself around to the right. Feels really, really weird. Now, what I would like you to do is imagine like you're having a tug of war in your body. And as you twist to the right, you're trying to stay really centered. So if you were holding on to like a little screw at the top, you'd be screwing your screw into the ceiling. 2 more. Exhale to twist. 1 more time. You're going to twist here. Can you maybe open the right arm out? You're reaching, you're leaning. Can we do 8 bicep curls for 8? Reach it out. 7. I'm shaking. 6. Reach those arms. 5. If you're on your back, 4. You're doing little ab pulses, please. 3. Scooping through that belly. 4, 2. If your feet are against a wall, push them against the wall. 1. Reach those arms up. Come back to center. Take a little bow. Woo-wee. Okay, other side. Now, if you're feeling loads of low back here, I'm going to turn around just so that I have room to twist, but please feel free to be exactly as you are. If you're feeling tons of low back here, know that that makes sense. We are activating part of our core, or your deep transversus abdominis does wrap around to your low back, plus we're scooping, plus we're doing stuff with our legs. So there's your psoas here that has to work, pardon me, as well as supporting muscles in your back. If it is so distracting that you don't even feel your abs working at all you feel is your back, please feel free to change it up. Please feel free to find a posture or shape that works the best, most optimally for your body, yeah? We sort of have to work together because we're not in person. So I want to make sure that you know that you have agency and options. Okay, spiel over. Last set, here we go. Arms are reaching up, legs are maybe against the wall, maybe long, maybe bent. Breathe it in. As you breathe out, you're going to scoop, 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 scoop and open into your half roll back. Now remember, it looks maybe like my body is hunched over. It's not. There's just lots of fabric here. I'm actually scooping deeply through my low abs. So that fleshy low belly space, pubic bone to belly button. I'm thinking about lifting up and out of my spine. My legs are reaching and my quads are on. Maybe it feels reasonable for your left arm to reach up. Maybe it feels reasonable for both of your arms to reach up. Wherever you are, I'm going to do both arms on this side so you can see both arms, yeah? You're inhaling, and as you breathe out, you're just turning in and on yourself. Pull yourself back to center. So you're trying not to lean. Stay rooted in that right hip as you reach up and around. It's like you're just sort of turning a dial. Bring yourself to center. You could even imagine like you had a hoop in your hands if you'd like. Bring yourself in. Wherever you are, we're never collapsing and sitting in our low back. That would be a lot of pain, a lot of work, a lot of load. So we're trying to release that load by reaching our legs long, by scooping and lifting out of our shape. Twisty, twisty. 3 more here, please, friends. Let's go for 3. Thinking about the right side of the waist, wrapping around into the left side of the waist for 2. 1 more time, you're going to turn, you're going to pause, open those arms up, opening through the chest, reaching through the legs, scooping. 8 bicep curls here, please. 8, 7, she's shaking. 6, scoop through that low belly. 5, lift up out of your spine. 4, showing off those arm muscles. 3, I know you're so strong. 2, last 1, reach the arms, come back to center, fold over your legs. Hoo-wee. Bring yourself all the way upright. Maybe grab a little bit of water. I know I need some water. And then we're going to come back up to standing. So all the way back up. Give ourselves a little shaky shake. We're going to come back to that parallel leg that we started with. Remember, we started with those squats. Oh, I can feel my legs already. However, instead of bending and squatting back, we're going to do like a 1 leg moment. So feeling yourself nice and supported, hands can come to your hips. Your right leg is going to step back. Now we're going to keep it nice and small to start, where we bend down, and then we bring ourselves up, where we go down through center and bring ourselves up. So when you're ready, feel free to find yourself there. Now, of course, if your back toes do not like being up and you were super, super happy with the regular squats that we were doing, please feel free to carry on with that. Yeah, be where it feels good for you. Down and up. Now, little bits of housekeeping as we are here. If you place your hands on your hip bones, you'll notice if your back hip slips down. Can we keep our back hip really nice and level? And especially at the top here, you might start to feel an opening in the front of the hip, especially if it's been kind of tight in through there. So if you don't get to a fully straight back leg, that's totally fine. Down and up. We're going for 4. We're going for 3. We're going to make this into a little series. For 2. Last one like this. Now we're going to tip forward. We're going to bend down. And as you bend down, now this back leg could come off of the floor if you feel like you have the strength. If not, it's reaching behind you just as a little support. We're going to focus on that standing leg. Down and then push up. Down and then push up. If your toes are on the floor, your weight might adjust a little bit. That's fine. Push up. So back leg isn't doing anything. It's just there to support us. Your weight goes forward, push and come up. We're going for 5. Slow it down if you need. For 4, remember that back leg could be lifted if you wanted. For 3, for 2, last one, right foot is on the floor. You're going to scoop through your pelvis, tuck your bum. Hands come across your chest. Keep those hips level. Super slowly, we're going to scoop through our pelvis. We're going to lean back as we lower to the floor for 2. For 1, squeeze and come up tall. We're doing 6. Lower down 4. 3, 2, 1, squeeze and come up. Lower down 4. 3, 2, 1, squeeze. 4, 3, front foot stays anchored. 2, 1, up nice and tall. 3 more. Down for 4, 3, 2, 1, push it up tall. 2 more. Down for 4, 3, 2, 1, squeeze it up one more time. Down for 4, 3, 2, 1, up tall, walk it off. Woo! So we see the pattern, yeah? Down, forward, back. If that's not working for you, you're back possibly to your parallel, where we went down and up, where we did the little hovers, and then the little pulses. Yeah, so feel free to play within that. Okay, we're going to do 2 sets of this, back to back. I might lose my breath. I probably will, but we're in it together. Right foot goes back. We're going for 8, 8, and 6. So bending down through center, up for 8. For 7, zipping through those bums. 6, zipping through those thighs. 5, back heel is reaching back. 4, yeah, you don't have to be up on your highest half toe. 3, it can be a support here for you. 2, last one, we tip it forward, bend down and up. For 7, for 6, the lower you go, the higher you have to come up in space. For 4, for 3, you got it. For 2, last one, we bring it up. Plant that foot, scoop through your bum, hands across your chest, lower down. For 4, 3, 2, 1, quick up. That's 6. Down for 4. Scoop, scoop, scoop. 3, open through that hip. 2, 1, quick up. Down for 4. That was 2. 3, 2, 1. That's 3. We're halfway. Down for 4. Now hug the legs in towards each other. 3, scoop that pelvis. 2, squeeze your bum to bring yourself up. That's 4. Think about the back leg here on this one. 4. Front leg is just your support. 2, 1. Bring it up one more time for 4. For 3. For 2. For 1. Right away. Down and up. My legs are shaking. Down and up. 6, 5, 4, 3. Are we all shaky, shaky? 2, 1. We tip forward. Down and up. Down. Ooh, up. Push that floor away. For 4. For 3. For 2, drive that front foot. 1, bring ourselves up. Here we go. 6, scoop the bum. Bend the knees. Shine the hips. Lowering 2, lowering 1. Strong push up. Now your stance does not have to be wide here. 2, 1, up. The work really happens from that leaning back 1, and up. And only go as low as makes sense for you. 2 more. Down for 3, down for 2, down for 1, and up. One more time. 3, 2, 1. Shake it off. Whew. Go for a little walk around. A little bit more water. Crushing it. So again, it's good to mix it up, right? Like have a little bit of things that are cardio induced, have a little bit more chill. And there's lots of programming available on YouTube and on Instagram. If you feel like whatever we're doing today isn't resonating, feel free to go pick another class that's on there. Okay, are we about ready to do this round 2? So nice and calm to start. Hands can come to your hips. You don't need a wide stance. We're just going to bend down and then bring it up. Nice and calm to start. Super calm to start. Knowing from side to side, things can be different. Are your legs already shaking? My back leg is already like, shake, shake, shake. Down and up. So as we are moving here, can we consider keeping, our core really nice and engaged, yeah? So we don't want to be hanging out through our low backs. That low belly scoop we were just practicing, you can think about it here as well. Down and up. For 3, nice little warm up on this side. For 2, fully zip through those quads. Last 1. Now we're going to tip it forward. So we're trying our best to stand on that forward leg. We bend it down and then push the floor away to stand tall. Bending down low, push the floor away, stand tall. Bending it down, push it up. Bending down, push the floor away. Nice little squeeze of the bum here. Nice zip of that quad. I know I'm cheating. I'm holding onto the wall. For 3, because my leg is shaking and I have to talk. For 2. Whew. Last 1. Bring ourselves upright, plant that foot back down. So not on your highest half toe, and you don't need to be in a big stance. Crossing your arms over your chest. We're hugging the feet in. We're bending the knees. We're scooping our pelvis and we're leaning back, lowering for 2, lowering for 1, big glute squeeze upright. This again, side to side might be different. My knee on this side, I can't go quite as low. 3, so I'm hugging in with all my might, squeezing my bum upright. One more time for 3, for 2, for 1, bring it up. Okay, so 8, and then 6, sorry. 8, 8, and 6. 2 times round, getting that heart rate back up a little bit, and then we'll head back down to our mats, yeah? So my right foot is forward, my left foot is back. You might be opposites, and that's fine. Bringing your hands onto your hips overhead if you'd like, out to the side, whatever feels good. We're going down for 8. For 7. Finding a range that totally makes sense for you. For 4. Something that feels like you can still work hard. For 2, but doesn't irritate anything. 1, we tip it forward. We bend down and then up. You might have to slow it down here. For 4, woo, big squeeze. 3, remember that back foot can totally stay on the floor. 2, it's just to make sure the front leg is working. 1, push it up, transfer your weight back. Here we go in those little matrices. Scooping through the belly, hug the thighs and lower. 3, lower 2, lower 1, strong push up. Lower and hug 3, lower and hug 2, lower and hug 1, strong push. Lower down 3, lower down 2, lower down 1, 2 more. Down for 3, bending and hugging, bending and hugging. Upright, one more time. 3, 2, 1, right away. Down through center and lift. Down through center and lift. For 6. For 5. My legs are shaking. I hope yours are shaking. 4. 3. Up and squeeze. 2. Using those muscles. Last 1. Tip it forward. Back leg can stay down, but think front leg lunges, front leg pushes. Front leg lunges, front leg pushes. For 4. For 3. I think we actually have 2 more. So let's go 1. Let's go 2. And then now we've caught up. For 2, because we were going to do 6 instead of 8. Last 1. Bring yourself upright. Cross those arms. Last bit of business. Scoop through that belly. Lean it back for 3. For 2. Woo. For 1. Push it up. Down for 3. Hug it in for 2. Hug it in for 1. Strong push. Scoop and hug 3. Scoop and hug 2. Scoop and hug 1. 2 more for 3. For 2. For 1. I might have counted wrong on this side. 3. I apologize. 2. If I miscounted, feel free to add it in. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. Woo! Walk it off. Heart rate is up a little bit or a lot of it. Gorgeous. All right, let's bring ourselves down. Grab a blanket or a towel if you'd like to come to kneeling. Whew. Just going to do a little bit for our shoulders here, yeah? So staying nice and upright. Stacking ears, shoulders, hips, and knees on top of each other. Maybe giving yourself a little wiggle if you need. I'm down, but my legs are still like shake, 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 shake. Okay. Drawing ribs and glutes are in, low belly is active. We're going to do this one arm at a time. So can you make a fist with your right arm? Really squeeze through your arm muscles and then bring that arm forward. Ribs are nice and drawn in as well. Sort of like how you feel when you're doing a plank. My left bum cheek is like totally vibrating. We're going to take that right arm and we're going to really reach it forward. So I'm thinking about peeling my right shoulder blade off of my spine. And then your right shoulder blade is going to hug back onto your spine. It's going to hug forward. And then it's going to hug back. Right shoulder blade hugs forward. Right shoulder blade hugs back. And so the whole time, oh my gosh, it's still shaking. The whole time that we're squeezing the shoulder blade forward and back. So forward is called protraction. Back like this is called retraction. We want to keep the muscles of our arm really, really nice and strong. A book just fell over on my bookshelf and totally scared me. Reach it forward and draw it back. We're going for 3. Really, really reach. And then really, really squeeze. We're going for 2. Really, really reach. And then really, really squeeze. Last one, really, really reach. Really, really squeeze. And then bring that arm to settle. Now, as if you were lifting from your shoulder tip, can you squeeze that shoulder tip up towards your ear and then squeeze it down? And I'm not talking about right up in your levator scap and your trapezius. I'm thinking, imagine someone's come with a little hand and like lifted your shoulder blade out from underneath, and then they're sliding it down, lifting it up. And you might not have a huge range yet. It's taken me ages to get a range that doesn't like immediately cramp up in my neck. So keep it small to start. We're going for 3. Squeeze it down. We're going for 2. Squeeze it down. One more time. Lift it up. Squeeze it down. But don't drop your arm. Keep all of the muscles in your arm squeezing. We're going to take that arm forward into our protraction. From your shoulder blade, lift it up. So we're back up in that top spot. From the top spot, squeeze it back and around behind you into that retraction, and then down towards the ground. Scoops down and forward and up into that protraction. Up with the shoulder blade towards your ear, that's your elevation. Up and around behind you, that's your retraction. Down towards the floor behind you, that's your depression. One more time. Around and forward, protraction. Up towards your ear, elevation. Around and back to behind you, retraction. Down to the floor, depression. Can we reverse it? Remember, you're still squeezing your arm. Take that shoulder blade and draw it down and around so you're back up in your retraction. Up towards your ear, elevation. Around and forward, reach it forward, protraction, and then the shoulder blade scoops down to the floor. There are, of course, a myriad of other things happening here, but just if we were to think of them as like 4 cardinal points, that's what I want you to think about. One more time, arm is still totally squeezing. I'm hoping you're feeling shoulder through here. I'm hoping you're feeling some muscular mobility happening through the top, through your shoulder blade. And maybe like me, your glutes are still shaking violently. Whew, let's give it a seat. Let's give that arm a bring down. So what I love about exploring shoulder-related work, and I have shoulder injuries too, so I can't always be weight bearing. It like immediately, almost always does funky things for my shoulder. So exploring ways in which we can really purposefully work our shoulder mobility, stability, and get lots of really great movements happening here, strength building happening here without having to weight bear. I'm so sorry. My glutes are shaking so violently. Anybody else? And I feel like it's like vibrating up to my voice. Okay, I'm going to turn around. I'm going to turn in a diagonal for this other side together. So left arm is out this time. Squeeze that arm into a fist, drawing the ribs in. We're starting with our protraction, retraction. So that arm comes forward. Really give it a good reach. You're trying to peel that shoulder blade off of the spine behind you. And then as if somebody has your shoulder blade in their hands, they're squeezing it back. Take that arm and reach it forward. And then take that shoulder blade and draw it back. Muscles of your arms are squeezing really, really nice and tight here. And we're keeping the ribs drawn in. So it's really about that movement of the shoulder versus your ribs and upper body coming with you, which is not very efficient, right? Like our body always likes to work efficiently. And that would mean that other things are moving around. Reaching it forward, squeeze, 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 taking it back. Let's go for 2. Squeezing it back there. One more time. Reach it forward and then into that retraction. Let your arms settle in center, and now it's going to go up, but it's going to go up as if someone's lifted you from the bottom of your shoulder blade, and then it slides back down to the floor. Lifting up as if someone has lifted it from underneath, and then it slides back down. My glutes will not stop shaking. And then down. I mean it when I say, when I teach usually live with people, I don't do the class with them, but I always say, I know how you feel because I do this to myself, and I really do. I wouldn't give something in a class that I hadn't tried myself or taught myself. But when we get to do it together at the same time, it's a whole other reality. One more time, lift that shoulder blade up. And then bring it down and squeeze. Now settle it in center, firing through your arms still, making a fist. We're going to hit those 4 cardinal points. So reach forward into that protraction. From the bottom of your shoulder blade, lift up and around into that elevation. Now it might not go that high. Back and around behind you into your retraction, and then scoop it down to the floor into your depression. Down towards the floor and up and forward protraction. Up and around, lift that shoulder scapula up towards your earlobe. That's your elevation, and then down and back behind you into your retraction, scooping into the floor, depression one more time. And my hope here is that those arm muscles never stop squeezing. They're on the whole entire time. Up and back behind you, down and around to the floor. We're going to take it in reverse, scoop down, around, and then back into that retraction. This arm is on fire, up towards your shoulder. Know that I'm not squeezing them up. It's like literally lifting from underneath, around and forward into your protraction, and then down towards the floor. 2 more, back and around behind you, up towards your ear. Sometimes if I close my eyes, I just feel like I can do it better. So if that resonates, feel free to try. One more time, back and around to retraction, up towards my other shoulders, trying to do it too. And then forward, and then bring it down, give it a good shake. Nice job, team. Okay, let's ditch our blankets if you were using them, and let's come all the way down onto the floor. A little bit more shoulder work here. So we're going to press ourselves down. Pedicure side of your feet, your toenails are going to stay down into the floor. You're going to open your arms wide, so you're in sort of like a cactus shape, and your head is going to come down. Can we do a little bit of housekeeping as we are here? So maybe it would feel really easy in the body to let your hip bones melt completely to the floor. Can we find a little bit of low ab recruitment here so we can start to scoop through our belly and find a little more pubic bone? Pressing the feet down, turn those quads on, turn the glutes on so they're nice and recruited. They're activated. They're your support. We're going to think about drawing the ribs inwards so that they're not pressing into the floor, because that would be a lot of work and strain on the back. Keeping the hands pressing down, breathe in. As you breathe out, you're going to just lengthen your torso out and up just a few inches. So just high enough so that you're not pressing your ribs into the floor. And if you want to give yourself a little test, maybe lift your hands to hover. And I'm hoping you feel it right around that low scapula, that low shoulder blade where you would wear a heart rate monitor, and then lower yourself back down. Whew, legs still shaking. Breathe it in. As you breathe out, ribs in, lengthen out, up and forward just a little bit. Maybe give those arms a chance to hover off of the floor, and then lower them down, melt yourself to the floor. 2 more. Shoulder blades on your back, ribs are in, reach out and come up, that little bit of a hover. Take your breath in here. And then lower yourself down. One more time. Shoulder blades on your back, ribs in, lengthen out as you come up. Check in with those arms. Now, your options here are to stay in this hover or bring yourself down at any time. Can you, as you're down here, start to lift those palms? So your elbows are digging down, but your forearm and your palms are lifted. You're going to turn your hands towards each other. Give yourself a thumbs up. Now, from your thumbs up, you're going to try to lift those arms as high as you can, but keep your elbows digging down. So your elbows are digging into the ground. You're giving yourself a little hitchhiking thumbs up. You're in a bit of extension, and then hold maximum tension here for 4, for 3. This should not be in your low backs. 2, 1, lower your hands, but keep your torso. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, palms and forearms lift. Turn your hands in. Give yourself a thumbs up. Dig the elbows in as you lift up through those arms. Try to turn the arms out. Press your feet into the floor. Hold maximum tension for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. I'm hoping you feel this right in your posture muscles, right in your mid-back. Inhale here, still in your extension if you're there, or you can stay down if you prefer. As you breathe out, you're going to turn those arms in and give yourself a thumbs up. Lift your forearms, but dig in through your elbows, and then you're going to turn those arms as much as you can. Try to squeeze your shoulder blades onto your back, bring your shoulder blades down your back, dig the elbows in, lengthen out for 3, for 2, for 1. Lower it down. 2 more. Maybe you're still holding that extension. Toes into the floor, zipping up through those quads. Lift your forearms, palms face in. Give yourself a thumbs up. Open those arms out for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Bring them down one more time. Lift the forearms and palms. Turn the hands to face in.